Today we're at the wind tunnel for the first test of this wind tunnel model. It's a very exciting time for us to see the first results from the tunnel. We've obviously been doing a lot of simulation activities to understand the performance of the car, and this is our first opportunity to really see how that corresponds in real life to what we saw in the simulations.
Today we have here first validation of the scaled model. This model is built with more than 250 parts. There are over 100 pressure taps around the complete body of the vehicle, and we are correlating every single point related to mass flow measurements, related to static pressure points, regarding the air velocities in all the areas that are very sensitive for this program. The main purpose of this test is to correlate and validate aerodynamic performance of this vehicle. This is the first test in which we assess different volumes and different changes on the car. So we exchange all these parts in order to steer car for high-speed performance and later on for handling efficiency and handling performance as well.
This is an early development phase. You know, the car is relatively mature in its concept, but we're still testing a lot of detail changes around, particularly to optimize the drag to achieve the performance figures that we want for the car. The performance targets, as you can imagine, for a Bugatti are extremely challenging, and so the drag in particular is really critical to this car, that we achieve a very low drag coefficient. And some of the ways we're doing that to try and improve further on, Chiron was already a low drag car, but we need to be better than that. So the sort of things we're doing are to shrink down the glass house of the car. So it'll be a slightly more compact interior, but we'll still preserve the space for the occupant. But it means the whole frontal area of the car will be lower than Chiron. Beyond that, it's about optimizing the whole flow over the car and looking at every detail to make sure that we've optimized the flow in every area.
After we complete all the assessments on the scale model and we build the car which is ready for the experimental prototypes release, we move towards the one-to-one testing. And the first one-to-one testing after this scaled model will be on the first XP vehicle.
So we're back in the wind tunnel, this time the full-size wind tunnel, to continue our validation of the aero performance of the car. In fact, the results from the scale model all help to develop the car in the right direction. So this is a more mature design than we had in the scale model, and also being full size, it's closer, it's more accurate in terms of the results that we can get. The simulation tools are very good nowadays, but they're not necessarily perfect. So we need to correlate those tools, and then we can continue the development using the digital tools. We're now in the phase of the project where we have built the first prototype cars, the full-size vehicles. We will have two main prototype phases. This is the first prototype phase. We call it the experimental prototypes, where we do the first tests of the real car and check that the performance is what we expected it to be from the simulations that we've done. Generally, the correlation seems pretty good. So we've got a lot more analysis of the data to do, but first indications are that everything is where we expected it would be.
I'm very happy to be part of this program. You cannot find any similarity with any other car in the world, and that makes me very glad and honored to participate in such a program.